Oh, I'm just out riding my bike.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing Sean Miller.
CJ Grisham.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
so
you.
this is you.
This is me, yes sir.
Okay. All right. I've got I saw your gun.
Oh,
Open
yes.
Carry. Very pro Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about me, but obviously you are.
I'm the founder of Open Carry Texas.
You're the exact person that I would love to talk to.
Okay.
And debate this.
Yeah.
Because when I heard, see, my sister lives in Missouri, and they have open carry there.
Yeah.
And I used to tell her that my sister owned, and she doesn't anymore, but I'm talking for years and years, and was like a 6th degree martial artist. And that type of thing. I'm giving you a little bit of a background.
No, you're fine. You're facing
Okay.
into the sun.
So I used to have these debates. I was like, well, sis, you don't wear a t-shirt that says you're a 6th degree black belt. You don't want anybody knowing that, right?
Yeah.
Other than your students or something.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I don't. I go, "Look, it's the same thing with the gun. I said, why would you want to announce that you have one? Because if there's ever somebody that's going to do something, it's not that I'm against you carrying it.
Yeah.
I'm very pro. She knows how I am. I'm very pro.
Right,
All the gun control stuff. I'm very against all of it. I'm even pro open carry.
Yeah.
It's just that when it came out, I thought to myself, someday somebody, because they're open carrying, now there's no telling how many things by you carrying it open that it might deter.
Right.
But someday something bad is going to happen. I work over in Cleveland. I was sitting there. There's a lot of places that they're like, what if somebody comes in, open carry, and I worry. They had 27 robberies in 3 months in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now that's probably
Cleveland's gone downhill.
That's like okay. My whole 32 careers in law enforcement, I've answered half a dozen. I've worked in Weatherford, which is about 30,000 people. We had 70 police officers. My whole career I hadn't answered that many. They had in 3 months.
Yeah.
That many.
I don't know what's happened.
It's bad. But what would happen if like you were in Clean and you walked up, well, right smack in the middle of the robbery.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody's getting robbed, and they look over, they see your gun. Y'all both make eye contact.
Yeah.
Okay. If they didn't know you had a gun and you were like, dude.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, I'm safe with him. I'm back on him. I'll kind of keep my eye on him, but I'm back on this. And you were like, boom.
Yeah.
Or you could really stop something bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see any.
Yeah, well, so I had 16 years in law enforcement as well.
Oh, okay.
And
how do you
it was
feel
at
about
the federal level.
Okay.
So my thoughts are, because I worked in counter intel, so my job was mostly counter-terrorism.
Okay.
And protection. I did force protection, so I did the vulnerability assessments for the base and that kind of stuff.
Over at Fort Hood?
Well, all over everywhere I was stationed, basically.
Oh, okay.
But,
ex-Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I worked with federal law enforcement all the way down to local law enforcement.
Okay.
The Joint Terrorism Task
Oh,
Force.
okay.
So what my experience is that criminals, the vast majority of them, there's that subset that doesn't care, but most of them, they want to go and they want to tag that register and they want to leave.
Sure. Absolutely.
The last thing on their mind is they don't want to shoot anybody and they don't want to get shot.
True.
So if they go in and they see somebody with a gun, they're going to go find a soft target because they know now this is a hard target. And it's just like you were talking about the lady with.
I'll agree with you.
With the jiu-jitsu or whatever.
Yeah.
I would wear a shirt that says I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu because that's going to tell someone don't mess with me. That's going to tell a rapist leave me alone. Because
maybe.
I mean, it's just a shirt, but
maybe.
Let's just say.
And I'll give you a maybe on what you're talking about.
There are exceptions to everything.
Yeah, that's a situation where I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah.
If you're in there and they go in there, it'd be the same if I were in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with us, they don't care about your badge. They don't care about going to jail. They care about what's on your hip right now. And so they know that you're armed. That's why they don't. And granted, cops are still getting killed, but that's why because if open carry was a problem, you'd have more cops being targeted.
Right.
Just for guns. But really, it's the gun they're afraid of. So if you show them that you're a hard target, again, you're going to have that small percentage that's like, hey, there's a guy with a gun. I'm going to. But
Yeah.
but you've got, first of all, you got the number of open carriers that's so small. I mean, we only got barely 1 million licensed carriers to begin with, and of that million, maybe 40% carry every day based on our Open Carry Texas polls
Yeah.
and stuff. And then of that 40%, so
okay.
how many open carry?
Yeah.
So now you've got to have the perfect storm of an open carrier,
Right.
somebody robbing a bank,
True.
and someone that doesn't value life and will shoot you because you have a gun.
True.
Which, so that really minimalizes.
Okay.
But that's my thoughts on open
Okay.
carry, and I don't do it all the time. And I tell people, it's not. And the main reason why I open carry is because I want to get in society. We have come to this point where you see a gun, you're supposed to be afraid, or we're supposed to be ashamed because we have a gun.
Yeah.
And so, as the president of Open Carry Texas, what I'm trying to do is re-indoctrinate people to feel safe around
Okay.
law-abiding citizens
Right,
with guns.
okay.
But if I'm in like a concert, well, I guess you can't go to a concert. But if I'm somewhere where there's crowded
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people, I'm concealed because I can't maintain control of people that are close to me.
That was another.
Yeah.
That was another scenario where
It's
I would
situational.
definitely,
Yeah.
would definitely not want anybody
Right.
to know
And we
where
push
it's
safe.
where it's on me,
Yeah.
and it would not want to. It's nice meeting you. I have a different perspective. Okay. I think with the because I teach at police academies all the time,
Uh-huh.
and I tell people, I said, anybody in here that's open carry, my suggestion is to reconsider not reconsider whether you carry a weapon. Carry it every day.
Yeah.
I tell them, carry your weapon every day. We need help. Citizens need help. Good people, law-abiding citizens need help every day. I can tell a specific incident in Dallas where a concealed gun permit holder saved a Dallas police officer up there when I worked up in Dallas, and they had on a traffic stop, and the guy came over. He'd already knocked it.
There have been a few around the country that I've
Yeah.
read about.
Yes.
Because I keep track of that.
Okay, there was one up in Dallas, and the guy was going to
might
shoot
be
the
one, I think.
cop, and wasn't open carry back then. This was about
concealed carry.
6 years ago. But I'm very for it. But in the academy, I teach. I say I don't ever carry. First of all, I'm not licensed. I'm a peace officer, but I don't have I've never gone to concealed.
I've got a Leosa. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I've got a Virginia license.
But I've never gone to that class. But I tell them, really consider before you wear an open carry. Consider. I said I would never do it. I carry on 24/7. I used to not. I used to be one of these.
I carry
because
all
I
the
got so sick of carrying my gun.
Yeah.
All the time. After 32 years and then 3 years in the military, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear it when I'm off duty.
Yeah.
And finally, they started coming out with this was small enough and light enough where I went, okay, I don't have an excuse.
Yeah, I've got
So-
my little ankle one here
Okay.
that nobody ever knows about.
I carry one of those 38 revolvers
Okay.
in my pocket, in my front pocket, all the time.
I won't go after combat. I got. I mean, just a side story, but I got. I was on the ground looking for intel after a battle, and we got ambushed while I was on the ground. But I had left my rifle in the trap, and all I had on me was my 9mm, and there was no way to get back to my trap. And so I ended up having to repel that with my 9mm. And ever since that day, and granted that's combat. I'm not in combat here. I will not go anywhere without a gun because that pistol, had I not had it, the fact that I got ambushed, well, if I get ambushed on the street by some thug or at a gas station or whatever, I hope to go my whole life never needing it. But that one time I want to have it.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever want to shoot another human being in my life. But
I appreciate your service. Thank you.
Well, thank you for yours.
Yes, sir. I was at Fort Campbell. I was at a air assault infantry unit. And,
I wanted to go air assault. They wanted me to go airborne. I said, I'm not going airborne. Well, then you're not going air assault. Okay.
All right. I don't, most of the unit I was in, 101st, unless you're with 5th Special Ops is up there.
Yeah.
And then we had a small Pathfinder unit, but unless you're, we're not 101st is not airborne anymore. Even though
they're
most of the
mostly
guys
air assault.
it's all the
All
infantry
air
units are, even though most of the guys I served with, I was a medic.
Okay.
But if you went to an infantry unit, you had no choice. They were like, we need volunteers for air assault school. You're going. So everybody, I felt bad for the guys that joined the Army they didn't know that they were going to get sent to Campbell.
Yeah.
And they were deathly afraid of heights. And you know what? They overcame it, man. They went out of those helicopters plus the obstacle course on day 0, they have what's called either the man maker or something like that, but there's 2x4s that you have to go up, over, and then down. And the last one up there,
Is this the one that's kind of inclined a little bit?
No, it was this particular one was straight up and down, but at the top one, you almost have to reach and get yourself over it. And
that's like the aerosol course here at Hood. They've got one.
Yeah, they used to only have 2. They had one at Campbell and Hawaii.
Yeah.
Had one, and so I really feel like the one at Campbell's the only real airsoft
That's the
school.
only real one. Just like Fort Benning is the only the
Airborne.
Fort Bragg. No, is it Benning or Bragg?
Benning.
Yeah. Like
Benning.
Fort Benning is the only airborne
Airborne
school. Well, I think it is anyway.
It is the only.
Never mind, that is the only one.
Yeah. Campbell used to have an airborne school there a long time ago. They still have the towers.
And they used to do airborne here.
Really?
When the airborne thing first came out, they did it here at Hood, and they would jump out of Norfolk.
How many years were you in?
20, a little over 20.
Well,
20 in like 2 months.
Thank you for your service, dude. I appreciate it.
I wanted to do more, but I got injured in Iraq, and I couldn't. I was a first sergeant, and I decided I can't run with my troops anymore because of my back injury. That's actually why I ride bikes, because I can't run. And so I ride bikes, and then I kayak in the summers. Those are the only 2 exercises.
You look like you're in very good shape.
Well, you notice I move a lot because I can't like put too much weight on my back.
Okay.
Which I always feel nervous about when I'm talking to cops because like, hey, why are you moving so much? But
do I look very?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm fat because after I got out of that unit, I went, I am never effing running again. All I've done is hurt myself because my sister's a workout freak and my knees are good, my back's good.
Yeah.
I have no excuse other than the fact that a lackadaisical life of eating fast food
and sitting in a car
and bad hours.
In the Army, and you remember, it was very rigid. Like even as a first sergeant, the sergeant major, at least in my last few units, was very rigid, and you will be at that.
Yeah.
You will be at your formation, even if you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I gained so much weight since my injury. I gained so much weight because I couldn't go and do a bike. I couldn't go to the pool and go swimming.
Right.
I couldn't go to the gym and do a stationary bike or something like that. They wanted you, and I literally just sat there watching. And I would do little things. I could do push-ups.
Yeah.
But that's not going to give me cardio.
No.
And the walk.
And they wouldn't let you go do the bike.
They wouldn't let me do the bike or the swim.
I think if you'd had, even back then, if you'd had a profile, our sergeant major and first sergeant would have said, go do.
See, they just told me that don't even worry about the APFT.
Oh, no.
Because I mean, I'm pretty broke. I won't let them do surgery on my back, and that's what they really want to do. But
man, I've got a couple of buddies that they fused together some bones and it cured them. And they're out of Fort Worth.
My medic, when I was in a special forces unit out in the DC area, was blinded one night, and I asked him, I was like, so that's weird, a one-eyed medic, what happened? Did you get injured in combat? He says, no, I had surgery on my back, and I came out blind in my right eye. And I was like,
it threw a clot.
It did something.
He had a stroke and it cut the blood supply, I guarantee it.
I was like, no one's touching my back.
Man, I hate that you feel that way because there are some good surgeons, man, but I understand because especially with the back surgery. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I get what's called radio frequency ablation.
Yeah.
And they stick these 2 probes into your back, and they do these radio frequencies that kill your nerves.
Yeah.
So I just don't even feel it.
Well, CJ, I don't think I voted for you. I've already voted.
Okay.
I wish I'm going to write my cell number down. And if you ever need anything, I work in Belton County. And I retired from Weatherford, Texas, which is
and that's actually my cell phone number.
Okay. Which is outside of Fort Worth. I did 20 years there, and I've been with TABC for 12 years. Okay. And we regulate the alcohol industry. Yeah. So anymore, if we go into a bar, we do a lot of plainclothes stuff. Where we'll go in, we'll watch a bar. If they overserve somebody, we'll go in, we'll get them a ride home, and we'll deal with the bar overserving. And because you can arrest drunks all day, every day.
Right. If you're not doing it about the source.
There you go. If we can
Yeah.
stop them from over serving. Maybe it'll keep somebody alive on the interstate or something like that. So.
Well, if you have any questions, give me a call.
Yes, sir, man.
What
Are you doing good?
well, I guess I'm doing good. I think
Are
I'm gonna
you-
be in the runoff.
Okay.
But there's 3 of us.
Who are you running
Hugh
against?
Shine.
Okay.
He's the
Okay.
incumbent.
Okay.
Um,
And I have heard somebody say good things about him. Now I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, his. I would not run against the fellow Republican if I thought he was.
Oh, okay.
I have no desire to be a politician at all. I mean, look, I'm out riding a bike with it. I mean, who does this? You know? So I have no desire to be a politician, but I go to the legislature and I fight for gun rights. I mean, I'm Oak
Yeah.
Prairie, Texas, so I
Okay.
fight for gun rights legislation, but
Okay.
I also fight for pro-life issues and
Okay.
trying to get government out of our lives, smaller taxes,
Right.
get rid of all these little nitnoid things that run every aspect of our lives.
Okay.
Um,
Well, good thing about TABC is our salaries are zero. We make $250 million a year for the state that goes into roads, and our salaries are come from the permits.
Okay.
So we're not off taxes. Our salaries, our cars, all that are not coming
Well
from
then, I like
taxpaying
that.
dollars. We make the state money.
yeah.
And there's only 250 of us.
Yeah, I worked really closely with the TABC a couple of years ago because when open carry passed, Walmart was having issues because of the blue sign,
Right.
and so they were stopping people who were open carrying and demanding to see their identification. This is 2016,
Right.
and we tried to get with Walmart and say, look, that sign doesn't mean you have to stop and ID everyone. It just says if you the unlicensed possession of firearms is a felony. But that doesn't mean you have to. The law says if you know that someone is unlicensed, if
Yeah.
you willingly allow them to carry, then it's a felony. You don't have to go and find out. Now, if someone comes in there and goes, yeah, I'm carrying, I'm not licensed, and you let them in there, then it's a crime. But you don't have to go. And so we went to the TABC and we asked them, "Can you please put out a ruling on this,
Yeah.
so that these guys will stop harassing people who are shopping, minding their own business?" And the TABC put out their ruling saying, "Look, guys, you have to do that. It's not your license by not hiding everybody that comes in your store."
Right.
So, but yeah,
Now, on premise is still a no-no as far as
on premises, yes, yeah, it's a
where
no-no.
you're drinking it there.
Yeah, the 51%.
Yeah,
Right.
And the way the laws are written, it's very poorly written because they didn't, when they said firearms, they didn't include long arms and shotguns on premise.
Yeah.
So you can go into a bar with a shotgun or a long arm. Now, what's bad is the permittee or the person that owns the bar can get a fine from us by letting you come in there with a long arm or a shotgun.
Right, but it's not against the law for me to.
It's not against the law for you to,
Right.
you're not going to get, unless you rudely display it. There is a law about that.
Well, there's no such thing as rudely displaying, believe me, because I got arrested by rudely displaying, and we fought that whole thing.
Where did that?
That was here in Temple.
Was that you
That was
and
me.
your son?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what started Open Carry Temple.
Okay.
But yeah,
But look, now I've seen that video. I think you knew. You had to have known. You had to have known. Was it any type of setup deal?
no,
was it a
I
setup?
was out in the country. Those were my farmlands that I was
but
walking
I'm
on.
saying, were you expecting?
No.
It's like I'm going to put
I
some
do that all the
parameter.
time. I do it all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'll hike out in the country
Oh,
with my
okay.
son. We carry rifles
Well-
everywhere I go, and my hunting rifles is an AR-15.
Did they ever tell you? You know about action reaction.
Yes. Well, that's why I reacted to his action
Well,
of
no, no,
grabbing
no.
my rifle.
No, but I'm not. That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Action reaction is you've got a pistol on your side.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I had a gun pointed at you, and you had your hand down by your side, and they don't teach citizens this. They teach people in the police academy. They teach cops this.
Yeah.
But if you had your gun pointed at me and I had my hand on my pistol, I can draw it, boom, before your brain can tell you I need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you'll see videos of people with guns down their side,
Yeah.
and police are going, put it down, put the gun down. We're taught, if you even see
A flinch.
that,
Yeah.
if he wanted to, the guy that has the gun can go boom
Yeah.
before that cop can pull the trigger.
And that's why
So
that's why
when that cop approached you, he knows that even with this hand on, if he had his hand on his gun,
Yeah.
if you'd done this,
but that's why when he showed up, I put my hands down to my side.
you still.
I wasn't even near the gun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the gun,
Okay.
the rifle was here,
Yeah.
and I put my hands down to my side
Okay,
intentionally because I was resting my hand on the buttstock.
Yeah, and I was sitting there going,
And then
you
watch
could,
the whole
I'm
the
going
whole
to tell you
video.
this.
Did
I'm
you
going
see
to.
the whole video?
I
The
don't
dash
know.
cam?
I don't know if I did.
If you just
The
type
only
in
thing-
CJ Grisham arrested, go figure. CJ Grisham arrested. I put up the entire dash cam because the one that went viral was my video, but it starts 40 seconds into the entire interaction. And so the first 40 seconds is crucial because it leads up to why my video was so angry, why I was so angry.
Okay, because you appeared to be.
Oh,
lying.
I was pissed. I had a gun stuck to my head. The officer put a gun to my head for no reason. I mean, literally, and then threw me under the hood of a car with a gun to my head in front of my son. And so that's when I turned on my camera and I was angry.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to. The only thing I could say is I'm sorry that happened to you. And I'm sorry that happened to you. That I'm not. That I'm. I don't know. I feel like apologizing.
You don't have to apologize.
But I
This
have
is
to.
one guy.
Yeah, but I have to say this. I want you to try, and maybe you've already done this, to put yourself as wrong as what that cop did. Justify maybe a little bit of it in your mind, and put yourself in his shoes where you don't know what he saw that day. You don't know what he's seen in his career.
Well, I heard
you
his
don't,
testimony.
You don't. Okay.
I mean, I was in
Then,
court.
then scratch everything
Yeah.
I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to think about situations where I've been in, and I haven't done what
So
he
as
did.
I'll put you in this situation. You get a call. There's a guy with a gun walking down the road. Right?
Yeah.
Or two people walking.
in today's environment. Okay.
And you drive up and you see a person. So what he did was
I saw you with the gun.
He said, "Hold up a minute," and then I turned around. I saw the police officer, no lights or anything. I put my hands down to my side to show that
Okay.
I didn't shoot him.
Okay.
And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're hiking." But
The only thing better
So-
would have been this.
yeah. So what?
But-
well,
but
I don't know.
what-
Then I'd be hiding my. What else am I hiding?
Okay.
I wanted him to see my hands, but I want him. But what would you do? You see that I've got a rifle.
Yeah.
It's an AR-15. It's
Yeah.
got a magazine in there,
Yeah.
and he even testified because it had a window. So he testified he could see the bullets. Would you get out of your car and approach me?
Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd be behind the car. I'd be telling him you need to put the gun down.
Well, I'm trying to think. Put all these things in my mind. What you're telling me. It was open.
The
But
rifle
he didn't
was
see
here.
that until he got up
No,
to.
when he said hold up a minute, I turned around
Oh, okay.
and he could see the magazine
Oh,
was
and he
full.
approached up to, and he walked up to
And
you.
then he just walked up to me. He didn't have his
Okay.
hand on his gun or anything.
I would say, sir, for the sake of me just feeling like I'm going to go home
Yeah.
at night and going to be okay because I don't know yet.
Is it okay if I remove
Is
this
it?
while I talk to you?
Is it? Oh, yes.
And he didn't do that.
That's exactly what I probably would have said. Is it all right if I just make sure take the magazine out? It's clear. I'll give this right back to you as soon as I'm finished talking to you.
But yeah,
I would have done it.
There's so many.
How did
things
I approach you just now?
Oh yeah, just can I talk to you? And I'm telling you, if that would have been,
It would have been different.
It would have been
because
so
dude,
much
you had
different.
a bad attitude.
Here's the problem.
You were mad.
You had a bully, and this cop was a known. He was forced to retire because it wasn't just my issue. He had other issues.
Okay.
So this was a bully coming up against a hard-headed guy who fights for his rights.
Yeah,
you
right,
know?
right.
And
right.
so you've got a rock and a hard place here, and they're hitting each other.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
not going to work.
It's not, and of course it never works out fine for the people.
No.
When that happens.
No.
But that's what it really was. But I mean, anyone else, because I've had a lot of interactions with cops as an activist.
Okay.
Because this turned me into an activist.
Okay. And how are the interactions with them?
97% of them are great.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I hope so.
I've had guns pulled on me several times and pointed at my head, and that's very disconcerting. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm willing to be a martyr. I'm not dropping anymore. I'm not going down. I'm not going to grovel. I'm not going to get on my knees. Look, you're either going to have to shoot me. I'm not a threat to you. Put the gun down.
Have you learned other ways to make the police
Well, what I
officer
do
more?
is I go around and I actually give training seminars to law enforcement departments, and I teach them, or I try to teach them. I don't know how there are a lot of departments that do this well. How to interact. When you come up to an open carrier, what's the best way to de-escalate as opposed to escalate?
You have to do that in law enforcement on everything, not
But
just.
and 97% of the time is, in my experience, no problems. They do just like you did.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? You know, we
Yeah,
got a
can I
call.
holler?
You're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, what you got there? Oh, a 1911 or Glock in your game.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a Glock? Hey, that's what I carry. You know. And
Right.
where do you go shooting? You just
Right.
talk to them. That's what I tell these guys. I said, just talk to them. Bring down their anxiety, because when you approach someone as a law enforcement officer, and we don't know what we've done, that anxiety
Or
is
what
there.
somebody has said you've
Or
done.
what somebody said I've done.
Because they could have called the police department and said,
Exactly. And so approach them and immediately let them know that, hey, look, we got a call. You're not doing anything wrong that I can tell. I'm not here to harass you or anything like that. I just come to make contact, make sure everything's okay, you know, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Now, you're also going to have 3% of those people who are going to be like, go to hell, fuck off, get out of my face. I don't have anything to say to you. I'm not breaking any laws. Am I being detained? You know, there's those people.
Yeah.
That's the 3% on our side, and there's the 3% on your side.
Right.
So, but yeah, I talk to law enforcement departments all the time.
Well, good for you.
Thankfully,
Hopefully you
I
don't
haven't
have
had any issues.
a bad
Well,
taste in your, too bad a
I'll
taste.
tell you what I did for a while. I honestly did for a while this whole trial thing was going through, and
I hope you don't.
I've been a crusader for getting rid of bad law enforcement, because I came from that field, and it's
Yeah.
getting good cops killed. These bad guys that can't be taken, that aren't being taken care of, are getting good guys killed, and it's turning people against them. And for a while, it turned me against them, because I went through one of the most corrupt trials. I got arrested for resisting arrest, but there was no arrest to resist. And they kept changing the charges, and they finally settled on interference. I was doing nothing wrong until the cop got involved, and suddenly a crime was created. And so I went through this whole corrupt process. The cop lied on his police report, we proved it. He lied on the stand, we proved it, and yet I was still found guilty of interference because it's such a nebulous charge. And then I had another incident where later that year in November on Veterans Day, a bunch of us veterans, about 40 of us, went to the Capitol to protest all these open carry arrests. Because after my arrest, of course, you remember, everybody's walking around with rifles everywhere, all over the state.
Yes,
And we were doing that to make a point.
Oh, I know.
And the point was, I can do this, but I can't do this. And so, obviously, that was difficult that was a learning curve for law enforcement at the time. And again, there were a lot of those headbutting, and a lot of people got arrested.
Well, you know what I thought? I thought Texas is one of the best states to be in to have a gun, and that group right there is going to F it up for everybody. That's what I thought. I said they're going to make some laws, our stupid legislators, because they're doing that, are going to make some effed up laws that are going to affect them.
I heard that.
And they're going to affect everybody.
I heard
and
that
they're
the whole
pushing,
time.
and they're pushing it, man. They're
The
pushing
NRA
envelope.
begged me to stop.
Yeah, I know.
The NRA was begging me to stop doing that. The TSRA was begging me to stop
government
doing
makes
that.
stupid laws.
But you
man.
know what? It was effective.
Well,
because it got open carry passed, which we made the point. Look, I can
you
walk
think
around.
that's what?
Oh, I
that's
know
what
that
helped?
is, because open carry was not even on anyone's vocabulary.
Oh,
And
I didn't know.
yeah, and
I
so
don't-
we made the point that how absurd is it that Texas, first of all, is one of only 6 states without open carry. And I can carry, if I had a legal permit for it, I could carry an M60 machine gun.
Right,
You know,
right.
if I wanted to. But if you
Sure.
saw my little 380 ankle holster, suddenly I'm a criminal, you know?
Right, right.
And that argument, because we got a special session to go in and make this argument, and then of course we had the open carry bill filed, and we made this argument, and we even said, look, I don't like carrying my rifle everywhere I go. It's not fun at all. But what's the alternative? I can carry my rifle. Not only can I carry it openly, if you know any other way you can carry a rifle, but not only can I carry it openly, but I don't need a permit.
Right.
So why do I need a permit, and why can't I openly carry my handgun? This doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
Right,
And
okay.
And then also we talked about the cost of the license. That's how we got the license fee reduced as well. And so anyway, I know it pissed off a lot of people, and it made a lot of gun owners were squeamish about it because they didn't understand our form of
I
activism.
didn't understand at all.
And once we started getting that word out there, I'll tell you, the first 6 months, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea about optics. I didn't understand optics. And so we started changing how we were doing it. Instead of just walking into places,
Yeah.
we would get permission first. We would send somebody in that was unarmed, or we would plan ahead But even when we had planned ahead at a place we were going to eat after a walk,
Right.
we would still send someone in without a firearm. If there's customers in there, let them know, hey, we've been allowed to come in here. We've got some guys. We just had a rally. Are you going to be okay if we come in here with guns?
That
And
was
all
smart.
the
Smart to do
customers
that.
would know what we were doing.
Okay.
And so we had rules. I set rules. Notify law enforcement anytime we have an event. If you're going to go into a business, get permission first. After you get permission, make sure the customers are okay with it. Always carry signs or flags so you don't just look like a gang running around with rifles all over the place. What was the last thing? Oh, and don't dress like douchebags. So
Okay.
those were my rules,
Alright.
and that's how we were able to, after November, after I got arrested for this disorderly conduct,
Yeah.
or not disorderly, it was criminal trespassing.
Yeah,
They told me
right.
to leave the Capitol, but I wasn't doing anything against the
Oh,
law, and I
okay.
told them, no, you have no authority to leave me. And we had this big, here we go again.
Right, right.
What's your authority? I'm telling you to leave. What's your authority? I'm telling you to leave. What crime am I committing? I'm telling you to leave. You're under arrest. And so after that, and that got thrown out because they couldn't do that.
Right.
I still spent 12 hours in jail for nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's why we did what we did.
Okay.
And I explained, like I said,
Thank you for explaining it.
yeah, I went to all the departments, and not all of them, but I went to all the big cities, all the way down to Brownsville, talking to police departments, trying to help them understand, hey, and I understand you guys have safety too, so here's what I'm telling my guys.
We do.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe. I can tell you stories.
Oh, I do
man.
ride-alongs. I do ride-alongs all the time.
Well,
In
so you know.
Dallas and San Antonio. I don't even do them in little towns like
Yeah.
this.
Well, hell, clean.
Oh,
You want to
Clean's
see some?
probably as
You want
bad.
to see some shit? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I came from Weatherford. That we were 10 miles outside of Fort Worth, and it was a town of 30,000 people. So we saw just enough.
Yeah.
I saw just enough to make it a cool career there.
Yeah.
And just little enough to where I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I'm in Dallas or
Right.
you know what I mean. But listen,
Oh, and then get your name here again. Miller.
yeah,
Okay, Sean.
my name's Miller. Then, Sean. I owe you an apology because I feel a lot, dude. I prejudged you. I saw a video and I went, "That's a dick."
Well, you know what's
And
interesting?
you know what? I don't feel that way now. Maybe I'm.
Well, the
maybe
TMPA doesn't like you.
okay. Well,
And they're
you
trying
seem
to,
like a pretty decent guy to
I
me.
tell you, I love.
But man, you said some things in that video. I was going, God dang
Oh, yeah.
it, man.
I've
God
said
dang."
a lot of
And
things.
you weren't de-escalating by any means. You weren't
Well,
being.
and again,
you weren't,
watch the full video, and you'll see exactly why I escalated.
oh, okay.
I mean,
Is
I
it-
didn't even escalate.
You were like, I don't know.
I was like, "You're a piss poor excuse for a law
Yeah,
enforcement
just
officer." Yeah.
son, videotape this. Da 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 da. I want you to.
Well, and the reason in my mind, if I'm going to get shot, it's going to be on video. That was what I was thinking.
Are you
because
really thinking that they're going to shoot?
I was seriously thought I was about to lose my life. I seriously did. The way
Brother.
this guy was acting.
Okay.
And you'll see it in the video. I mean, this guy
Okay.
had rage in his eyes. This was an unhinged.
Yeah.
I still think he's unhinged.
Well,
But it's one man, and
Yeah.
I've tried to be very clear that when I've been critical of law enforcement, it's been specific officers and specific incidents. But I have learned over the years to make sure how I say that is a little bit
right,
different.
right.
Because people, unless you're put in that situation, they don't understand the adrenaline going through your veins. I mean, it's the same with officers. When adrenaline gets in there, they start flying
Sure.
the F-bombs and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
it happens.
So unless you've been in that situation, most people don't understand that. And when you're an activist, everything is obvious, everything. And so I've learned, and I've used language that I probably shouldn't have used. Talking about some cops that were just beating the crap out of a kid just because he asked him, why do I have to get out of the car? He started beating the crap out of him. And so I had said something along the lines of, these cops need to be lined up and executed. But I've said the same thing about people who have killed cops. These people need to be lined up and executed. But people only focus on when I say it about the cops, and they think I'm saying it about all cops, but I'm talking about these specific guys that are abusing their authority. And I'm not talking about these iffy, the guy was running, he deserted. I'm talking about just normal.
Right.
A guy was asking a question of a police officer he didn't like to be questioned, and then he started wailing on the guy. I'm talking about the Bill Haskins case specifically, a couple years ago, or a year ago. But anyway, so
Let me just tell you that my dad, he was in law enforcement for 35, almost 40 years, and worked on homicides his whole career. He
Yeah.
worked homicides here in Belton County, and so he works in major major serial killers, major crimes. And
Yeah.
he told me to always treat people the way you want to be treated, always.
That's what they
Okay,
taught us.
and he
Yep.
said this badge on you belongs to the people that you serve. That's what he told me when I first got my uncle. I've always been that way.
As long as we
And I teach
those
that. I
Julian
teach that.
principles. You know what those are, right? The Julian
Yes,
principles.
yes. And I teach that in the police academy, all these academies, and I
Yep.
teach exactly what we're talking about. And so if they abuse their power after that, which there are going to be bad apples in every basket,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I tell people,
but
look, just
hopefully,
because I take that bad apple out of the bunch doesn't mean I hate the bunch.
yeah.
You know, I just don't want that bad apple.
Yeah.
So,
So-
but yeah, hey, Mr. Miller, if
it-
you need anything from me, let me know.
All
And,
right. I'm glad I stopped and talked to you, man.
I always try to talk to cops because I think a lot of, again, there are a lot of people, I got a lot of police officers that support me. 2 of them are walking for me, some former law enforcement, actually walking for my campaign. But there are still a lot that they only saw part of that video.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
And they think I'm this crazy anti-cop guy.
Right.
But really, I'm just a fighter for liberty. And if you're violating rights, I'm gonna stand up to you, whether you're a politician,
Whatever.
a cop,
Yeah.
the guy down the road,
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
And I love
get
law
that.
enforcement. As a matter of fact, Saturday I'm gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna be in Austin. There's a Trump rally down there, but Antifa is gonna be there. And I always go down there and I meet with APD and I take some militia guys down there and we're armed. And we let APD know, hey, and we have yellow bandanas that we put
Is it
on.
with the guard, the Texas State Guard?
No,
or
this is
something
just
like that, or
a group of 3%, we call ourselves.
Oh, okay.
And we put yellow armbands on, and I meet with the sergeant or whoever the response team is, and I say, we're not here to get engaged or to engage. We're not going to be yelling. We're not going to be interacting. Our job is just to make sure that they don't get through you, or that they don't overpower you.
Thank you.
And last time, the last Trump rally we had, one of the bicycle cops, because they were marching, and they were in a really tight bubble, and one of the bicycle cops got knocked down, and these guys started coming, these Antifa guys started coming around him, and I got in there, I was body checking people, and throwing elbows until this guy could get up. So I love cops.
Yeah.
I don't hate cops, but the TMPA thinks I do.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what? I don't get the feeling like you hate law enforcement either.
if I did, I'd have been
You're
like,
saying
no, I got
talk to
nothing to say to you.
Yeah, well, no doubt. You're like, no, go F off.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. No, excuse my language, but I mean, I've heard you
Hey,
cuss
I've been
on
in the-
tape,
I've been in the Army.
so yeah. But
I
you know,
actually don't use profanity except when that
when you get
adrenaline-
that mad.
Yeah, and I hate it because I don't like profanity at all, but when I get angry,
Yeah.
well, I think in the last 2 years I fixed that though. Thankfully I haven't been angry much, but I've really mellowed down.
Okay.
Because I've learned about optics. Anyway, hey, you be safe out there.
No, you be safe. And thank you, man. Thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you for what you're doing too. I mean, we
I'm
all
at
have
the
our
end
roles
of my
to
career.
serve.
Hopefully, I won't get shot and killed right at the end. Because I'm
Well,
getting
don't say that.
I'm getting too old to be doing this shit.
Well, my family prays for you guys, so
I hope that when I'm gone, that wherever I go, because I don't go to church. I should. I hate to say I don't, but I believe in a higher power.
I don't think you need to go to a church to believe in God.
Yeah, and I do believe in God. God, and hopefully I've done more good down here than I did bad.
Yeah.
That's the way.
And you know what? I believe it. Even if you haven't, you'll have a choice to redeem yourself, or a chance to redeem
I
yourself.
hope so.
And so.
So be careful.
All right. Take care.
DJ Grisham
Yeah.
in the house, man.